Good morning, YouTube friends. This is Jim. Back to you with another video. Thank you for visiting my channel, Off-Grid Living with the Bennetts. Well, today it looks like it's going to be a painting day. Well, priming day anyways. We'll see how the painting goes. I've been doing drywalling. I finally got it all finished. I spent 3 hours yesterday mudding or sanding, I guess. Not mudding, but sanding. And so the plan is, we're gonna prime it today. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go inside and take a look, see, whoa, my glasses are fogging right up. I had the heat going for a while to, get the walls warmed up a bit. And I just turned it off. If you look outside here, you can see the steam. It's pretty warm inside right now. So, yeah, today I'm gonna prime. So let's take a look, see what the walls look like. Well, I think they look pretty good. They got them all sanded and all cleaned up nice. So we'll see how it goes. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Okay, now this wall here, for instance, I didn't even hardly mud that wall. I just put one coat on just to cover up the seams, and I'm going to prime it as well, but I'm not painting it, and I'm not fixing it up nice because it's all going to be hid behind cupboards. My wife says, save the mud, save the paint. We're never going to see it anyway, so. But I did want to cover up the seams, just because. So anyways, everybody has their own way of doing things. I loosened up the heater, pulled it up from the wall, covered up with a garbage bag to keep all the dust off of it. So what my plan is I'm going to prime the room, and then there's going to be some flaws in the walls, I know that. And what I've done in the past is I fixed those flaws up right after I primed. But what the problem is any flaws that are in the walls, if you fix them up after you prime it, then you've got white drywall compound on white primer. And if you miss sanding that spot, what you end up with is a lump on the wall because you end up painting over top of it. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to, everything's sanded down well, so I know that there's going to be no bumps or anything on the walls. So what my plan is prime all the walls, and then after I prime them, I'm going to put my first coat of paint on, and after the first coat of paint's on, then I'm going to look for any flaws in the walls and repair them. Because if I do it that way, then I can see the flaws. It'll be right obvious because it'll be right on the paint. That'll repair those few spots. There won't be very many. There'll be a few spots. I think maybe in the bedroom at the other end there might be some extra spots because lighting is poor down there. So I may have missed a couple extra spots of sanding. So that's what the plan is. Prime it. Put a first coat of paint on, then look for flaws, repair those flaws. After I've repaired those flaws, then I will paint over top of them, and then put my second coat of paint on. So that's the plan. So I'm not going to bother having you follow me as I'm painting. because get too much junk in the way. So I'll paint it, and then we'll come back. We'll take a look, see what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. The walls have been primed. I think they look good. I don't see any significant problems with them. But once we get them painted, we'll see. That's when the flaws will start to pop out. Like I said, the lighting's not as good in the bedroom. Okay, so some tips. Have you ever seen in the corner, you see these brush marks coming down the wall? A lot of professionals leave those, and what that is, and even homeowners do that. What that is you get your roller, and you go up like this, and then when you're done, you go to the other side, and you go like this, and that roller, as it rolls down the wall, makes a mark right there in the corner. What you do, oh, there's a flaw right there. See that right there? You see a little flaw. Okay, so basically what you do is go down the wall with the roller that way. Then you go this way. And after you do that, go back the first way again and do it again, but this time stay up from the wall just a little bit. And then grab your brush and brush that line. Then you don't have that problem with your wall. And that's my my tidbit information. Another thing is, when you're painting, don't start at the bottom and work your way up the wall. Start at the top and work your way down. Because what happens ultimately is while you're rolling, you end up having a few drops falling off that roller, and sure enough, they land on the wall. And you'll see it. You'll see a blotch on the wall. If you have already painted it, you won't notice it. But if you start from the top and work your way down, then you're going to find that, and you can get rid of it. So this is the far wall, and as you can see, there's quite a few flaws in it. But this wall here, I only put one coat on of mud because this whole entire wall is going to be cupboards that are going to go from the floor all the way up 7 feet. So you see I did the top properly, but not the rest. Okay, so if you're doing new construction and you're drywalling, what you have to do is you always have to prime the walls before you, here, let me turn this camera around. You always have to prime the walls before you paint them. And you do that to seal them. If you don't prime them first, then you're going to have to use more coats of paint to cover up. A lot of times you can buy paint with primer in it. That's an alternative. I didn't do that. I'm going to basically do 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of paint. Before you prime, what you want to do is you want to sweep those walls off first. I sweep them off and then I vacuum them. Because if you don't, then all that drywall dust and junk is going to go into your paint. So anyways, yeah, the walls look pretty good, Jim. Oh, thank you. Not so fast. Not so fast. They look good now because you've got white walls with white divots and white marks and indentations. Once you paint that, then that's when it comes to being, comes to light. So, they don't look bad now. I'm going to paint these walls. We're going to take a look, see what they're going to look like, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, I'm back. Here's the question. The question is, do you paint first or do you do cutting in first? Cutting in, you say? No. Paint? No. You do whatever you feel like doing. That's the right answer. So advantage or pros and cons. Pros and cons. Okay, so I cut in first. The reason I cut in first is so that I can get this painting out of the way fast and just go. I think I do a neater job when I cut in first. I have painted first before. And the thing I notice when you paint first is that you want to get that roller as close to that ceiling as you can. And it never fails. You're going to hit that ceiling. I've done it 100 times. The other problem with rolling it first is a lot of times you're trying to get so close to that ceiling and you go around the room, and when you come back to cut in, you got a whole bunch of little tiny runs all along the top. So I choose to cut in first. I don't always cut in first. It just depends on my mood. But I think cutting in first does do a better job. Okay, let's talk about a paintbrush for a minute. When you get a paintbrush, don't buy the cheapest paintbrush you can find. You got to remember, you're not painting your wagon, you're not painting your kid's wagon, you're not painting your doghouse, you're painting your house. I got a paintbrush, see how it's on an angle? It's so much easier going when you're doing your cutting in with a paintbrush that's on an angle like that. Get a paintbrush that has an angle to it. So much better. It's like day and night. I've done it without, and I've done it with. And that's the way to go. Talk to you in a bit. Well, I'm done. First coat of paint's on the walls. I don't see too many flaws. That mark there on the wall, that's just a shadow. I think the walls look pretty good. I don't really think I got too much mudding at all to do. Pretty happy with how they turned out. Let's go take a look at the bedroom. Oh, in one of my previous videos I had mentioned, if you're planning on painting again in the next few days, don't spend the time to rinse out your brush. Throw it in a sandwich bag, toss it in the fridge. Save you the trouble of having a wet brush next time you want to go use it. Okay, this is a bit of a shocker, this bedroom. Walls turned out pretty good. My wife wants an accent wall in the bedroom. She said, what's that there? That's the thing with these cans of paint, eh? You get these little crusty things that come out. Oh, well, that's fine. This is the first coat anyways. So this wall is like a gray color. I don't know if it's gray. What color is that? I don't know. But my wife wanted an accent wall, so she picked some blue. So are you ready for this? Yeah, there's your accent wall. Looks pretty dark to me. But that's what she wants, and she's the boss when it comes to painting. Well, no. I'm the boss when it comes to painting. She just tells me to make sure I do the painting for her. So anyways, yeah. I think it looks good. I'm really happy with how everything looks. Got a nice corner here. The corner turned out really good. Can't really complain at all. There's a couple little flaws here and there. I'll probably touch them up, but overall, I can probably just get away with just slapping another coat of paint on her and being done. So now that the walls are done, I can put one more coat on. Once that's done, then there's the next project right there, the flooring. And once the flooring's done, then this is the big project. This is where my wife has to do her part, because there's a lot of cupboards there. A lot of cupboards. So, far wall, we're gonna have a lower and an upper, a fridge and a stove on each side. Then we're gonna have a peninsula out. And right there on that wall, we're gonna have basically a coffee situation. We're gonna have a lower, and I don't know if she got uppers coming or not. I don't know if I don't think she bought uppers. She might make it too crowded. So we got lowers there, and that's gonna be for a coffee. And then this wall here, the whole entire wall is gonna be pantries all the way up, 7 feet up. But they're gonna be blue. So anyway, so I got this box here. This box was a little wet, so I decided to open it. And when I opened it, this is what I found. Blue cupboard. And I thought, that's amazing. I love that color of blue. And then my wife looked at it. I showed her a picture of it. She says, no, that's white. It's just got plastic over top of it. She says, I don't want that color of blue. If I wanted that color of blue, we'd be living on the beach. So anyways, so that's not the blue. So somewhere in here, those boxes right there on the bottom. The boxes right there on the bottom will be our pantries for that wall, and they're all blue. And the doors are blue. But it's not this color blue. It's like a robin egg blue. My wife says, no way. That blue is not going to do it for us. So, anyways, that's it for today. Hopefully I taught you a couple tricks. Hopefully that works for you next time you want to do some painting. And I'm not a professional. I'm just a handyman, do it yourself. So anyways, subscribe to my channel, and I'll bring you some video on flooring technique. And then I gotta deal with all these wall plugs still too. I'm really glad I never put wall plugs in. This is so much nicer painting without all these things in here. Anyways, subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Have a good evening.